Behold, Calorum, a vast, many-cultured land where manifold societies and everyday citizens chase their individual happiness. Years before the forging of the Concord and its unifying emperor, before the grasp of the Bulbian Church had stretched the breadth of the continent, long before the corruption of the Sweetening Path and the assault on Castle Candy, a tenuous peace hangs in the balance between the six kingdoms. For the great King Arthur Cardoon, the long-ruling sovereign of Vegetania, has died, and without an heir, his succession remains a topic of debate and contention. But our story does not begin in the hallowed halls of Greenhold, nor does it begin within the grain marble amphitheaters of Pangranos. Our story begins in a land of saccharine fields and clandestine plots, of secrets and of shadow. Our story begins in the whispers of the Ravening War.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this Dimension 20 side quest, The Ravening War, where we return to the land of Calorum from the Crown of Candy series from not that long ago, but long enough to miss it terribly. I am your humble Dungeon Master for this adventure, Matthew Mercer, taking the Dome on loan to play with these wonderful people. Let's go ahead and say hello to our scrumptious scoundrels. Say hi, scrumptious scoundrels.
Hi, scrumptious scoundrels!
Nice little mouthful on that one there. Yeah, make it enjoy. Get the mouth around it a little bit.
Yeah.
The mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Mouth feels important. I mean, we're in Calorum, it makes sense.
Damn right.
We'll go around the table here, introducing our wonderful players over here. Actually, let's go ahead and begin with Anjali Bhamani on this side.
Hello, I'm Anjali Bhamani, and here I am.
There you go. You have Zach Oyama.
Hello, I am also here. Here I am.
Fantastic. Abria Eingar.
I'm actually absent today, and sorry. I'm so sorry.
Over here, looking at his sheets, potentially Brinley Mulligan.
What? Oh, it's me. I'm here too.
My goodness. And over here on the front of the table to my left is Lou Wilson.
I'm right there with you. I got
Almost
you.
did it.
Almost
Yes,
did it.
I'm Lou Wilson and I'm here.
Fantastic. Well,
Thought about it. I was like, that would piss everyone off.
Strong. I've been really strong.
And then it was a fun moment of looking over and going, coffee, water, coffee, water. Coffee, more traditional, water.
it's okay. We got time for a callback later.
Okay,
if you're feeling
great.
fresh.
Oh, why? Oh, that's
Biggest
gonna.
mistake you ever fucking made. Sitting on this side of the table.
Get fucking drenched. You're in the splash zone.
Help, please send help.
Safe over here.
Wow.
It feels better over there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring this back to a time before the events for Crown of Candy. 2 decades before, to where history began to unfold into a dangerous and tumultuous era. Water. Water rains from the stormy sky and dense sheets from above across the Vegetanian countryside. The rolling landscape of enormous leafy green cabbage hills. Damn it.
This is supposed to be serious.
Yeah, we're trying here. Out of the gate. The landscape of enormous leafy green cabbage hills and fields of low-scent fennel grass, passed by mud-caked with the Pilgrim's Road. Here, traveling from east to west, from Greenhold to Bright Garden to an eventual destination of Kamira. Flanked here, a retinue rides through the center of this storm, the heavy cloaks barely keeping the water from soaking through the soldiers that surround the outskirts of these 2 pale gored carriages, valiantly tugged forward westward to the Fructarian metropolis. its destination in time for the coming Egamir Festival. Today is the 22nd day of High Bloom in the year of our bulb, 1188. As the sound of rain and water crashes against the exterior of the carriage windows, we come in to see the soft, luscious interior, the warm cushions, the blankets, and the somewhat crowded space of various chests and personal belongings that have been pushed to the edges of the sitting arrangement. As they are staring out the storm, the gray, the coming ominous sense that comes over you. Lady Amango, Espise. Anjali, if you would describe your character for us, please.
Yes, of course. Lady Amango, let me say, she is just like a rabbit as a mango. She's got a voluptuous, beautiful, big red hair, slightly orangey, self-tanner looking skin, bright orange eyes, curvy and sweet and just delicious. But she has a sadness in her eyes as she is unsure of what is to become of her with the current events.
So the carriage hits a bump and it's kind of glides through some of the stranger, slicker parts of this roadway. You kind of gather yourself arm to the side and catch the interior of the carriage. To your left and kind of facing, staring at you, hood up, there's another figure. One of a past history and entanglement with the events of your recent past, and one of the few individuals that you trust as the late queen to the fallen Vegetanian king. Karna. Abria, if you would please describe your character for us.
Karna is a short, small, slight, young chili pepper. She looks half-starved and is trying to affect a sense of calm while looking very cagily. Now that she's actually revealed herself to you, since she normally pretends to be people close to you when you discuss any of our secret dealings and matters, and she's covered with red and green robes, and you can just see that across her green, unripened skin, just the beginning of blooms over ripening red cheeks. Kind of nudges some of the luggage back in place.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, this is fine.
Are you going to look like this the whole time? Well, you know, you do the thing, and the, do people, you look lovely. Never mind, I'm sorry.
I immediately turn into her.
No, that's
better?
That's the most dangerous thing
Just
you
sit
could
here with
possibly do for
titties
yourself.
out?
Please stop.
Look, I'm a queen.
I
My
don't
boobs
see
are
you!
And I return form. Are you okay?
No!
Okay.
No, I'm not okay. What about this situation seems okay in any possible way?
You are still a lady.
I'm a lady, but am I still a queen? No one seems to know.
No.
I feel a queen. I should be a queen. But no one's calling me queen because my husband has died. So what is okay about this situation?
No one expects anything of you anymore. You're no longer on the hook to produce an heir. You're no longer expected to do anything but smile and wave.
For how long?
A flash of light from beyond the windows, a nearby lightning crash hits the distant hillside. You see one of the night yam riders on the outside of the window. Its yam rears up before catching it, trying to keep it from being spooked and ramming into the side of the carriage. In that brief moment, you hear the roll of the thunder. In that pause moment, as you clutch your clavicle and glance to the third and final member of the interior of this carriage, the representative of the Greenhold Cathedral, sent along by request to accompany you, Lady Hamango, to this celebration of Egamir that now overlaps with a memorial to the late King Cardoon. Brennan, if you could describe your character, please.
Well, hello. I am Bishop Nathaniel Charlock of the Diocese of Greenhold, a very wizened and elderly radish. I have a big old red head. And the wispy roots of the radish come out of my wizened old frame. I wear the heavy vestments of a bishop, which I have worn many long years. I have remained in that role since my youth, tending to the spiritual needs of the royal family of King Cardoon and his widow, the Queen. A Mongo. Yes, still queen, I think to say. But I'm very wizened and somewhat shrunken. I look sort of small in my big vestments, and I might have my crozier, the symbol of my station as a bishop. It's really pouring out there. Drink deep with your roots, my friends. The bulb has seen fit to hide long enough that we might have a gift of rain.
You are the only person that gives me solace in these troubled times.
Oh, Your Majesty.
Thank you so much for accompanying us.
It is an honor and a privilege to represent church in this funereal procession, to see ourselves hold our heads high at the feast of the blessed Saint Egomir. I hope you're not too troubled. I know dark rain clouds here, but I think that, I hate to speak in cliche, but it is always darkest before the dawn, and these storm clouds too shall part. I know it. Maybe not for a while, but part they will.
I'm trying to reach to your little staff while you're rambling. I just want to touch it.
Yeah. Hold it. Do you feel yourself compelled to, well, that's not very sacred. It can be that. I'm going to smile and laugh and let you keep holding it and just say, Karna, there is a great deal of pride within Vegetania. We are accustomed to our ways, which are pious and devout, and I will say even at times somewhat parochial. We will depend on your shrewd insight when we arrive at the great city of Commodore. And I know that the bulb above watches our footsteps, but it is nice to have up, and we can focus up. Yep. It's great to have. It's great. We need you. We need you.
We do. We desperately do. And I'm so sorry. It wasn't about your appearance. I just want you to be safe. After all, I don't know how many people actually know you're...
It's fine. I don't mind. People, no, I don't have a title like you two. And that's okay.
Well, a lot of trouble can come from titles. I think that's going to be a running theme when we arrive in Commodore, certainly.
It's about this moment that you notice the carriage is beginning to slow, until eventually it comes to a stop.
Oh, dear.
You can just hear the sound of heavy rain scattering across the top of the carriage for a few tense moments as that kind of pregnant, vacuous air wordlessly begins to fill the interior. The door opens, and there you see, hooded, cloaked, fully drenched, one of the various knights of Greenhold, faceless under the shadow, except for a bit of what looks to be a carrot-like crook at the end of the chin that kind of ends in this frazzled little speck of fur at the edge, kind of pokes his head through.
Ladies, we're a few days' travel. It seems we're going in the direction of the storm, so it might progress for a day or so longer, but we're hoping it'll break upon arrival. It might be a bit bumpy, so be as careful as you can.
Thank you, kind sir.
Of course. Bishop. Child.
Closes the door.
See, you do have a title.
Great.
I'm going to look and just very calmly say, that knight has seen you wear this visage. It's all right. Just you need to depart the carriage in this manner, and if Her Majesty and I were to encounter someone else, we would just need to encounter them in Commodore when we arrive.
Okay. So don't. Okay.
Unless you have a way of erasing that loyal knight's memory.
Under the bulb, but no, I would not
Oh, good.
know how to do that. But I will. Oh, God. I'm going to telepathically start talking to you to say, what does he know? Why? Oh, I told you when I trusted you, and he's just like a weird old man, and if I just do magic in front of him, is he gonna kill me?
I have not told him anything. But the bishop, his eminence is wise beyond anyone's understanding. There are things he sees that even the bulb above couldn't see if there is a bulb after all.
Don't say that in front of him.
I'm not, I'm saying it in your head.
The bulb sees all. And I think it will see a path through this storm for us. I'm gonna take a little nap.
As the bishop curls up amongst his robes in the corner, you reach over and grab some of the nearby cushions you can to put a little space between you and the still rickety shifting of the luggage as another bump causes it to kind of stumble and crack onto the ground. The storm's not letting up, but there's still days to travel. As we shift back out of the carriage, past the green fields of Vegetania, up beyond the darkened gray clouds, through the yellowed skies where the Bulbian light graces the upper atmosphere, we come back down through from the Candied Raven's view, down over the fields of Fructera, where the Fructeran road meets the Glucian road, heading southward to Kamida, where a singular carriage makes its way southward from Uvano, where a unique gathering of new alliances were forged over the milk-like waters of the Yogurt Shoals in the Pulp Bay. Here we see a somewhat ramshackle cabbage carriage. Not the same pristine royal visage that we were privy to in the previous visuals. This looks like it was a rental. But still pulled by about a half dozen strawberries and their riders that escort the exterior of it. We come into the interior, where a number of Meatland folk sit to varying degrees of patience. If you wouldn't mind, Lou, describing your character.
Of course, sitting there is Thane Delisandro Katzen. He's has a face right on the edge of boyhood before manhood, 19 years old, a rich pastrami pink with a with a kind of close cut, rich brown, almost blackened edge hair. He wears kind of plain clothes, not so much in contrast to the traditional furs of some of those around him that also hide chain metal that he wears that also they most likely do not. Peeking out from those clothes, though, are his extremities, which are colored that of a rich marbled rye bread, as he is of both Meatland and Ceresian parentage. He wears kind of a formal headdress, kind of dressed for, a little bit dressed up for the event, and kind of leaning against the side of the carriage next to him are his armaments, his spear of sharp bacon steel, and a kind of prized shield, cured, the salted shield. As he kind of anxiously looks out of the carriage, trying to make sure that everyone's staying in line, trying to see if anyone is seeing us, trying to see how far we are from Kamida, just kind of anxious and waiting to be there.
Across from you, sitting kind of listlessly, eyes closed in a concentrated state, there is a long lifetime familiar figure to you, your mother, Chiefess Cleva Katzen, a thick cut of muscular, if aging, marbled ribeye steak, broad shoulders, and a strengthened barrel-like torso that has wrestled to submission many a warrior through her years as she climbed the ranks of respect within the beef clan that you reside. Here she sits, wearing what looks to be a combination of ceremonial armor, not too far from what you are wearing, along with other gifts that she's acquired through the years, and a discomfort is visible in the presentation that she wears. You know her feeling most herself when she's at home and not cramped in this small space. And as she sits with her eyes closed, she slowly opens them and looks towards you and goes, "How much longer must we go, my son? I am this close to just breaking out and running back."
We're but a day and a half, no more. And then we will experience the comforts of Kamida, which I'm sure are numerous.
I think we may have to stop soon. I have to pee and I have to break something.
Of course, I'm gonna bust open the door. We need to halt!
Immediately, like, you see exterior on one of the strawberries, Colton Gouda, who is this spindly, dim-witted young fellow from the northern area of the Yogurt Shoals himself, this kind of like pale, almost slightly melted, cheesy face, and this kind of just ever dull looking past you expression goes, "Okay, no, we'll stop then. We should stop. Colin, we're supposed to stop." Stop! Immediately, the strawberries grind into the ground itself here. The open, bright sky at this moment, this dry expanse, in contrast to our opening, you can see the eastern storm on the horizon approaching to wash over and cross with your path southward, which Colton looks over towards you and goes, "I'm sure that's probably going to make it a bit difficult. I didn't bring any cloaks to wear."
Colton sees Colin just kind of hold his jacket tight and says, sorry, man.
Oh, shit. And if you don't mind describing your character for us.
Yeah. Sure. Also riding a strawberry, Colin Provolone pulls his long jacket tight. He, in kind of the tradition of a lot of the sort of seafaring cheese people in the Dairy Islands, wears sort of almost like a swashbuckler-y kind of outfit with just sort of like a long coat. But it's like grimier, it's a little more dingy and gross because he's not exactly the first hire someone would make. He's very greasy looking, he's unkempt. He doesn't look he looks tough, I guess, but he probably smells. But he draws his sword and runs to the carriage to see what's going on.
Colin.
Yeah.
You could put your sword away.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what kind of situation it was.
No, we just need to relieve ourselves.
Okay. I will stand guard while you...
Oh, you don't have to do that. Here, walk with me a bit.
Okay. Sure. I could pee.
I look to my mother. We'll take a moment.
Good. She gets up immediately and like just kind of storms out, stops for a second, looks at one of the strawberries that's been dismounted, the one that Colton was standing upon. He's kind of like next to it, and gives her a smile. She just decks Colton in the face, on the ground, just spits a cup below. Shiny wax false teeth that he got when he was younger, when they all fell out originally.
Put it back in? Yeah.
Crooked.
And I think Colin will look at the lady and that's how I would have done it too.
And she just squats.
Wow, that's awesome.
Let's talk. How far are we from Komida?
You know, to be honest, I'm happy to be here, guarding you and all that. This is the furthest inland I've ever been in my life. I'm used to being completely surrounded by milk, and here we are.
We're used to being completely surrounded by meat, so I guess we're two people trying to figure it out. But we worked well together on the trip here, and I think that'll continue on to Komida. Is there any chance of us going a bit faster?
It's going to be a bumpier ride if we go faster, but I'll give it a shot.
We can take that. We can take that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything any other, like, any other battle advice or anything you want from me? Because that's kind of my gear.
No, I mean, I think I'm sure we've compensated you for your services, and when they are needed, I'm sure you will be there and ready.
Okay. Because, I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Ask me, if, we got ambushed right now, ask me how to handle it.
Colin, if we got ambushed right now, how would you handle it?
Circle the strawberries. Surround the cart with strawberries.
It is not a bad maneuver what he says there. And you watch as one of the strawberries kind of rides astride next to you, having overheard the conversation, where there stands a tall, thin, densely packed cluster of cooked brisket with a similar kind of off-the-shoulder piece of cured armor, a large shield that's kind of strapped over the back. And you see one hand, or where one hand would be on the right side, there is kind of a golden-colored cap that denotes where it once was, where the other hand kind of clutches the reins and the strawberries that stands up at the side. You know this to be Surly Hag, a longtime friend and companion chosen to escort you and the chiefess on this journey. Looking down towards you, he grins, the square jaw, handsome face. So the strawberries would surround the carriage then, eh?
I think that could possibly buy us some time, depending on what the situation is. And then we could, from behind the strawberries, of course, pick them off with bows and arrows, or I got a sort of a shiv made out of a cheese crust. I think that's just a pitch, not exactly 100% foolproof, but I think it could work.
That's good. We workshop it on the way.
We will workshop it on the way.
Do you have bows and arrows?
No, but
Okay, never mind.
I can throw this.
Okay, great.
One time, but after
I can throw
after
this
It's like a very big arrow.
Yeah,
It's just one.
it's one
got the hit.
arrow. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Like we said, we're workshopping.
workshop. Yeah.
How has the riding been, Surly? Is where everything's feeling?
I made friends with a strawberry. I've not met one before. My balls are numb. I can't feel anything below the waist. What a joy.
I'm a bit jealous riding in the carriage. It does seem it's our first time in Fructerra.
If you were to switch with me, it's probably not the best for someone of your importance to be on the strawberry.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So I'll wait in the carriage, but maybe when we get there, we'll have a day.
There's room for one more if you want.
Well, while she's peeing, and I hop up on. Oh yeah, this feels awful down here.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
He's just chafing, tucks it all back in.
Exactly. Oh.
Like I'm pretty raw in general by personage, but this is like nothing exists but paper and sand like meat.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? That was. I'll back off. Well, I think I got one.
Anytime.
All right. Yes, anytime. Chiefess.
She's like finishes her squat and stands up. Yes, then.
You ready to continue?
Nearly. She looks over towards Colton once more, and he kind of like, shrieks back for a second. Hey, now I'm ready. And she climbs back into the carriage.
Glad we hired you guys. In part because we can beat the shit out of you. You're just kind of okay with it.
It's awesome. It's fine. Hey, if you need anything at all, we're your guys. We've attached our strawberries to your carriage.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a metaphor, not literally what we're looking at over here.
Well, because I paid for all of these are my strawberries.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're right.
One day, I'll have a strawberry if I keep working for you.
I think Deli turns around. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to get back in the carriage. Yeah, maybe if we keep working together for a long time.
I'll kill anyone for you, but okay.
Thanks, Colin. Thank you. Let's continue moving.
The strawberries pick up pace. The carriage begins to roll forward once more, across the road as it shifts back to a southern direction. You can just barely make out what looks to be the distant shape that breaks up the horizon of gentle, forested lands and massive apple-like hills and mountainscapes to what looks to be a clustered metropolis of shadow. The stormy westward front coming closer and closer as you go. The 2 days travel without major issue. And the storm does come and rain down upon the area where Vegetania and Fructerran share a border, bringing with it the renewing water of life as well as the extremely frustrating muck and quagmires that build in its wake. But as it begins to part and pass, you can see the various farmers coming back out to their dotted homesteads. You see the wondrous kind of large apples drawing their various farming implements and their leather-based farming clothing. The wonderful presentation of families out there gathering after a storm and getting the children out in the fields to work for them while they watch. It's a beautiful sight as the peoples of these lands begin to celebrate in their own unique way the coming energy of the Egamir Festival. As now, morning bulb light crests the breaking clouds, and you can see the colored banners and already the jovial sounds of bustling city that awaits you as your disparate carriages begin to pull up towards the city itself. Here, on the gargantuan outskirts of the cultural trade hub of Fructera, the gorgeous skyline of Comida greets you with an inescapable energy. Climbing spires of golden grain and stockstone towers reach for the bulb's light itself, while leafy cathedrals of grandiose architecture welcome droves of Calorum citizens to worship on this day of celebration for the coming harvests beyond as well, in the name of the Saint Egamir. The streets still glisten with the recent rainfall as denizens rush around with streamers and baskets. Flooding the streets and side markets and musical displays of laughter and revelry just fill the air around you. For those who have not yet traveled to this side of Calorum, it's an oddly welcoming energy. And you can see the diverse cultures that have gathered here and the various levels of living populace. People who would normally appear impoverished still find their groups and attempt to squeeze their way into the more astute and money-laden portions of the townscape, whereas the armored guardians try and keep the best of the riffraff off to their respective portions of the cityscape. But around you, you can see majestic displays of structures, long-built historical buildings. One that catches your eye as you pass by, a massive building that looms in the northern side of the city. Still mid-construction, while dozens of workers and masons work across numerous work sites. Large treadmill cranes slowly rotate and place massive blocks of root stone into place, descending in width as it rises towards an eventual peak. This is to be the Great Pyramid of Food, and the home to the new council site of the noble court of Fructera. As you kind of watch in passing at this unique display of Fructeran and, well, nobility throughout the land coming together to craft something of historical significance. You also can't help but have your eyes be caught by your arrival at the Cornucopian Hall, an enormous structure that stands as one of the largest gathering halls in all of Calorum, and will remain so until the completion of this pyramid, which threatens to dwarf it. Here, this Horn of Plenty-looking structure of astonishing size stands far above the surrounding buildings, a beacon of power, and the central chambers to host the Egamir Cornucopia Convocation. As you pass through the massive gates, as they swing open, folding outward into the central courtyard here, you can already see there are numerous spiraling domes that welcome you with the bustling crowds of servants and nobles and other would-be dignitaries that are gathered around the exterior space, and many of which are stepping into the cornucopia itself. Other carriages have already arrived at these outskirts, some emptied, some in the process of being emptied. I will say you, who actually are Fructeran in original nature, you notice at first glance there is a polished eggplant carriage that bears the banner of Uvano. Currently, apparently emptied and being guarded by its servants and some Uvano soldiers themselves, just kind of arms crossed, keeping an eye at the space around them. You also notice an incredibly lush white pumpkin carriage adorned in Bulbian iconography. There is a chocolate orange and foiled carriage, the Candian banner waving gently in the post-storm wind. As well as two partially open, kind of open air, almost like a rising canopy on the top, garlic knot carriage.
Ooh, delicious.
And you can see these long streamer banners behind that just kind of gently flutter with the occasional burst of wind where you can see the banner of Pangranos displayed. Now, for the Greenhold retinue, upon arrival, as you slow into the courtyard, your surrounding soldiers stepping off of their respective their yams in full, barding armor, setting them aside and hitching them to a nearby post. Some of the other servants begin to come out of the other carriage, open the door, and guide you out to your feet.
Lady Amango, please.
This young-looking, kind of silken corn husk figure leads you outward.
Why, thank you. As I step out, I feel like a swell of pride. It's been so long since I've been here. And I actually take down my cloak to take in the air and the sweet smell of Commodore that's unlike anywhere else. It doesn't matter who else is here, how many people are here, it just smells like home. And there's just a little bit of a spring in my step despite everything that's going on.
I follow piously. I took the bishop's advice, and I've spent the rest of the carriage ride as like a turnip lady's maid. But I do want to mark the one night that clocked me early on in the travel.
Roll a perception check for me if you don't mind.
First roll of the campaign.
First roll. Oh, it was on a 20 and then it got bad after.
And then it got bad.
And then it got bad. 13.
13? Okay, yeah, you don't have a terrible time clocking him. He's not trying to be unseen. You see, he's currently having a hard time with his yam, which seemed to have been not doing well with the journey over here, and it's kind of like pulling against his reins. It's like, shh. It's okay, buddy, it's okay. You see his kind of carrot face kind of scraggling through the bottom, and he's kind of just keeping it quiet. He reaches in and pulls out a bunch of smaller carrots and feeds it to it, which is a little weird, but go with it. Good boy, good boy.
Can I drop back into the shadow, like around the carriage? I want to see if I can fire off an Eldritch Blast to get the yam to fall onto the knight. I need him gone.
All right.
Hot start.
Roll a stealth check for me if you don't mind.
Sexy.
We're killing.
We are in the center of an incredibly busy courtyard here.
Yeah, stealth 18.
18, okay. You confidently walk around, and to the credit of the timing that you chose to take this endeavor, the secondary carriage is now being arranged alongside the one that you arrived in, which leaves a very, very small gap in between. The perfect size gap for a child. And as you circle around, kind of pretending to be looking for a cluster of packages, you dip into the shadow beneath and glance from underneath where the wheels themselves are affixed to the carriage, and you have an eye line directly to the feet of both the knight and where the feet would be of this feetless yam.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it in the bottom of the yams and see if I can get the yam to crush my little carrot knight.
Yam on carrot violence.
Yeah,
I like
there's
it.
a lot of root vegetable on root vegetable violence that I'm trying to foment.
I'd like you to roll an attack roll for
Yes!
me, if you don't mind.
Okay. Come on, guys, be good. That's terrible. 11 on the first one, and then the second is a 24.
Describe to me what your Eldritch Blast looks like in the middle of this broad daylight mid-city experience.
It makes more sound, I think, unfortunately, than any like visual to it. But it's this like pulse of darkness, and it sounds like a rumbling stomach, and sort of like pulses with like peristalsis, like clench.
It misses its mark and strikes into the dirt ground. Poof, bits of stone and dirt kind of puff up in the air as the yam like rears up, and then it's like, no, shh. The second one slams into the knee of the yam, and as it does, it buckles, and the yam midair kind of crumbles, falls to the side. The knight is going to go, oh shit, and try and dodge. That's a 4 on his dexterity saving throw. Immediately, a heavy impact, a cracking sound, and a voice going, help, help. Immediately, the nearby servants begin to rush over. What happened? What's going on? I just saw this yam crushed over, I don't know. Oh, this is a dark portent. No, shut up, it's a celebration, be happy, help him, somebody help him. People are gathering around to try and go ahead and help this yam up. It's currently, its legs, or its little nubs, I guess you could say, are flailing in the air.
It's those little growths you get when you don't.
Yeah, it's like
go
been here for like
long enough. It's those little things.
It's been on the counter for a month.
Yeah, exactly.
The energy and extreme bustle of this circumstance will carry on for a few minutes. While this wasn't enough to kill this night. He definitely seems to have sustained an injury enough to likely be absolved of his duties for the remainder of this event.
I'll take it.
I'm going to rush over to the chaos over there and make sure that we send this knight to. This is such a terrible injury for such a loyal knight, and I'm going to make sure that we send him to a hospital very far from the action so that he can get all the rest that he needs and get him way to the edge of town, just nice and far away from here. And I'll go over and join the queen and go, oh, what a terrible, such a frightening beginning. And oh, look, Commodore, it had a hustle and the bustle. And so look at everything's happening. Every time I come here, I want to open a bakery, like a little coffee shop. Isn't just something about the city make you want to open a little coffee shop? I love it.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here, although I am a little bit nervous. I mean, I don't know where that craziness came from, but you know, I don't trust these people. Not the Comedans, of course. I don't trust our own.
Well, the bulb knows that each of us has the ability to turn our face towards the light, and, Your Majesty, I know that you know how many of our vegetarian lords have seen fit to all too quickly move on to the business of succession.
Do you think it's just the lords? I've heard the ladies speak.
There are many in the aristocracy, and unfortunately many in the clergy as well, who seem to have forgotten that you still wear the crown. And Greenhold and Vegetania require a monarch. You are still the head of state. Though an heir was never produced, we are not now suddenly in anarchy. I want you to know that trust is a very precious resource. There is no fruit more rare or hard to come by than that which blooms between true friends and those that can trust one another. But it is possible that we may find some friendly hearts here in Commandant that otherwise would not have availed themselves to us in Greenhold.
Perhaps. Who knows? Perhaps someone from my youth or friends of my family. Someone, somewhere, I'm sure will, I don't know, be kind.
As the storm clouds part, the bulb's light may shine on unexpected places first. It is good that you have come here and not simply retreated. I would hold my head up high.
No, I will. They're going to have to work very hard to take me down.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes, well, and if they want any rough stuff, anyone who wants to forget that we still have a queen in Vegetania, they'll have to contend with this old bishop.
And Bishop, as you laugh and smile, you glance back as they manage to push the yam off of this knight and lift him up, and his arm and hip are wrecked. You can see where part of the bone and kind of the interior carrot sinew is exposed. In that moment, flash, tear, flash, viscera, red blood, tear, black shadow.
I do love this city. Well, onwards and upwards. Look at that pyramid. Look at the size of that thing.
Yes, it's been under construction since I was a child. It's amazing to see it now.
There's so much money in this place. Ooh.
As you both step towards the center entryway to the cornucopia's main social gathering event of the mid-afternoon, following the rest of the crowd and the energy into the center of the building, how are you planning to follow suit?
My priority isn't the queen. I needed a ride here, but I have work to do. So I'm going to take sort of the commotion, send you a little message. Use the pot if you need me.
The pot, I left the pot at the castle. Oh, no, wait. No, wait. Chutney has it. I told her to pack it up. We're fine.
You don't have to yell in your own head.
I'm sorry. I just get excited. It's very fun to speak to someone else this way. I haven't done it in years since I was a child.
Okay, use the pot if you need me.
I will.
I have business to conduct.
Farewell.
For now. And remember what I said. You are too trusting. You are alone here. As long as you don't forget that, you'll be looking out for danger. It'll keep you safe.
Right. Noted.
In the middle of your staring reverie, a familiar voice comes up from behind.
Excuse me, Miss, Lady Amango, I brought your belongings along to drag into where you want me to put them.
Oh, thank you so much, Chutney. No, don't hurt yourself now. It's been a very long journey. Have you stretched?
I've been stretching for most of this. There's plenty of time.
And you see this older woman comprised of a glass-like, almost miniature Kool-Aid Man visual body filled with a mixture of apple and spice and chilies to this kind of like unique kind of green, almost orange concoction within this soft blue and purple dress that's pulled around with a bodice that doesn't do much for a, barrel-shaped glass container, but she's been your handmaiden for quite some time and is eager to be of assistance to you as she drags the large cases behind her.
Just tell me where to put them.
Chutney, leave those for the nights or someone else. Look where we are. We're home. Do you see?
There's been some time. It doesn't feel the same. They've done quite a bit with the place.
Oh, yes, it's grown tremendously. But don't you feel it? Don't you smell it in the air? The warmth, the sweetness, the kindness. Oh.
And she glances over towards the the Bulbian carriage that lies still parked, not unpacked. And she kind of gets a shiver in her shoulders.
Mostly. Let us go inside.
Yes.
And she sets the boxes down, and as you catch up with the bishop to the entryway.
I'm over at like a little stand being like, cream-filled blueberries, look at this. Unbelievable. I need money. Hold on, I need money. Where do I have money?
And start like patting around in my vestments.
I have a little pouch for
Oh, Your
emergencies.
Eminence, don't worry about it. It's your first time here in so long. Let me get it.
I'm gonna look at the little, like whoever has the blueberry stand, and be like,
Is a gold piece enough?
You see, there's a tiny raspberry gentleman who's wearing like this leather apron on and has this like really thick set of bottle-like glasses in front. She goes,
Yes, of course, that'll be enough.
Oh, lovely and splendid. Oh, that's so wonderful. Can you believe it? For only a gold piece? And I'm going to start eating it and be like,
It's pickled, sir. Did you read the sign?
this is so... I don't want to be unpatriotic. This is so much better than anything we make in Greenhold. It's just so incredibly... I feel like my brain is exploding out of my skull.
Do you understand?
It's so sweet. What is that? That is extraordinary. I can't actually have any more of this. A pickled, creamy blueberry. Oh, yes, this is having an effect in my body and my mind.
Let me take it from you. Chutney used to make these all the time. Here, Chutney.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I can't have that.
It's been a long time, but
Yeah.
here we go, down the gullet.
When in Commodore.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, it makes you want to make sort of licentious noises.
Your Eminence, I'm so sorry.
as you walk past, and the gathering of beautiful, patriotic displays of these kingdom-based carriages and banners floating in the midst of this courtyard. The gates open once more as a rickety-sounding, gentle cabbage carriage pulls through the front gates, accompanied by some exhausted and drenched riders on strawberries.
As we get close, I'm gonna tap on the glass and try and signal for Colin. Colin. you'll need to introduce us.
To
The crowd.
Hey, everybody.
Once we come to a stop, more formally.
The bishop has no hesitation to respond to "Hey, everybody."
Hey, everybody. Where we park these bad boys?
Yeah, well, I think just really sort of the courtyard generally.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, red guy.
Oh, yes, that's me, Mr. Red Guy.
Colin is feeling like, wow, I didn't know I was going to be doing this part.
Introduce us. Wait, this is a big...
Hello, one and all. Just announce it. Hello, one and all. Introducing from the Meatlands. You know him and you love him.
I'm sorry. Chiefess.
Chiefess and her son.
You watch as a meaty vein. A meaty vein bulges in the side of her head and slowly. I really hate this.
Yes, I didn't. That I planned poorly, but you need to go.
As you're still at the window, the door slams right into your face as the chief just kind of storms out and looks to the first currently decorated member of the arrival staff here at the cornucopia. You see what looks to be a somewhat like kind of small Brussels sprout-looking figure, kind of squat with a hair combed over to one side and this kind of like pointed nose that kind of comes to this kind of little hook at the end. Gets this over to you with this tabard on that was adorned with the colors and symbols of Kameda and goes, you don't need to announce right now. When you arrive into the actual event, we'll be announcing you as...
That's kind of what I
thought. I'm sorry. We're new.
Quite all right. I understand your Midlanders. Could you show us your invitation, please?
Yes, I produce.
Right, that all seems in order. And I assume you're the chief day? He looks up, and she's kind of looming over him. Indeed. Very well. You can come with me, follow. It is a pleasure to have you traveled so far. And I leave your servants to stay behind.
Colin will join us. I look over at Surly. Surly, will you corral some of the other men and make sure everyone stays?
Of course I will. Happy to keep watch, make the most safe. Maybe we can swap some pointers.
That would be great.
All right.
That's not going to be the thing I'm great at. It's announcing.
Good
I'm
to
a
know.
great public speaker.
No, now I know. Colin will join us. So yeah, me, Chiefess, and Colin.
If we were attacking, I'd ride right through him, though.
I know you would.
Just so you know, that's the strategy I have in place.
Oh, he was attacked through. Okay, great. Good to know.
All right. As you approach what looks to be these beautiful curved kind of leafy marble steps that ascend up to a small arched bridge walkway that leads into the open portion of the central courtyard where you can see there are heavy corn silk banners that flutter in the air, bright colors of blue and green and yellow amongst them. You could hear music playing. And here there are tables and there is spreads of various foods from all over Calorum. You can see, which is kind of impressive to you, a charcuterie board that would make people back home quite impressed. But as you mingle into the crowd here, best you can, definitely drawing stares from many of the more Southern Calorum, well-dressed nobility and the Fructarian individuals that are playing host to this event. There is kind of a mild hush and kind of a curious curvature to the grin of curiosity at the arrival of these Farlanders. And as you kind of nod and take this in, we come to you. Karna, what are you up to with your business?
So masquerading as my former spy master and employer, Jacques Crudité, I know I have a bunch of information that I need to go pick up and drop off and start making deals. So I have some set appointments. I'm from the streets, the slums of Kameda. So I'm gonna make my way back to my old stomping grounds and start planting little seeds of information.
What information are you planting?
Oh, I love the Queen so much, but that's been the biggest boon, selling the knowledge to the nobles that she's been largely abandoned in Greenhold and alone and friendless.
You take a short time while they're gallivanting about to begin to see this information throughout the town, to meet with some old friends, some old contacts, kind of leave some warnings for some old, maybe faded alliances. Those of you at the party, other individuals begin to arrive within due haste as certain announcements begin to echo out amongst the party atmosphere. As you step into the chamber, immediately you see this kind of slightly bundled up lemon gentleman with kind of a bulging, cheeked face, with this long, thin beard that comes to like a little bow of ribbon at the bottom. His hair itself kind of pulled out into this like side curls there, wearing one of those like breast adornments that have to fold down in, like from the Peter Pan movie that keeps hitting the dad in the face. My only cultural reference to that I have in the chamber, so deal with it. Folds his hand.
Introducing the widowed queen of Vegetania, Lady Armando Epicé du Piche.
I'm gonna swoop in by your side and be like,
Oh, they led with widowed.
and I'm going to, I think that is such a humiliation that I'm gonna like zoom in to
Flank the queen as much as I can.
Yeah, there's no way to hide the moment of shock that they not only called me the widowed former queen, but that they called me Dupesh, which is my family name, not my married royal name. But I pull myself up when he runs to my side, and I remember that I am a Fructarian, and now they all remember that because I am from House Dupesh. So I raise my head high and I nod to everyone.
As you do, that heartbeat, that ooh, ooh, in the back of your neck begins to subside, the confidence winning once more. Years of practice and training has made you ready for this. And you can see amongst the faces of the crowd, many themselves were kind of taken aback by the announcement. And a number of Vegetanian nobles just seem to be
And I look back because I know these nobles. I know they're just loving this moment. So I look back at all of them, and I look forward towards the Fructarians, and I say in Fructarian, thank you so much for welcoming me back home. It is so good to see you all, and to see this beautiful display of so many countries coming together.
Hey, here! The voice rings out from the crowd as a number of the Fructarian gathered parties raise their glasses. You see stepping out in the center of the area to kind of greet you head on, a round, brightly red-colored, tomato-like figure. You see this like long-brimmed purpled hat with what looks to be a feather crafted from some sort of a frond that is colored into purples and greens at the tips. This like long black and gray Van Dyke that curves to a chiseled point. Big, like kind of leatherish gloves that reach up to the elbows and goes,
Well, it is a pleasure to see you once more. It has been quite some time, the great queen. It is me, at your disposal, the humble Count Jacques Tomatet.
Ooh. Yes, it is good to see you again.
Indeed, it has been so long since you've come and visited your people.
Well, the duties of a queen are many, and knowing how well you've all been faring from afar, I thought it good to attend to the folks who needed me more in Vegetania.
Well, your timing is extremely bountiful. This is going to be an important remembrance, and I think a very important celebration.
Well, I hope it will be a celebration not only of the festival, but a celebration of the life of my late husband. Bulb rest his soul.
Bulb rest his soul. Come. I must introduce you to the members of the house that have not had the pleasure to be within your presence.
As this is going on,
I'm going to, with my staff, which is known to be a relic of the Balbian faith, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself, which is just an 8-hour duration. And I'd like to subtle spell cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And I'm just moving it around from person to person, not ever probing deeper. I just try to be as perceptive as possible.
Of course, and you pick up little wisps of information and emotion as you kind of coast through. You find bits of anxiety. You find self-absorbed narcissism and confidence, laughter, horniness, lots of horniness.
Remember, when I get to Fructera, I'm going to get a lot of that.
And as you continue to step through, just the glancing bits of memory and surface information that passes by, there is an anticipation for more arrivals. And as that moment hits, the announcement comes through once more. Presenting from Castle Candia, Queen Pamela Rocks of House Rocks and Princess Citrina Rocks of House Rocks. And here you watch as they step down off of that arched bridge into the walkway. A matronly blackberry with kind dark eyes swathed in deep royal blue and purple robes, smiling, kind of nodding as she descends, her hands out, the other clasping an amulet around her neck, smiling. People kind of clap. Some other folks kind of pay attention but go back to their conversation. And then behind her, you see a younger woman, a pious-looking, if somewhat stubborn and hard-headed expression on her face, as she doesn't seem to enjoy this public space as much as her mother does, of yellow candied skin, long orange-yellow hair dressed in gray-blue robes that denote an odd middle ground between royal dress and priestly wear, a royal circlet of some kind. The only piece of jewelry that she carries, difference from her mother's rather robust display of jewelry, just kind of hangs at the side of her belt. They kind of cascade into the crowd and begin making conversation. And shortly after them, another announcement comes through. Bringing into the event, introducing Senator Fakasha, Senator Enzo Cabano, and Senator Ariana Gamele. And here you see, as they step into the space, a pocked, thick wedge of seasoned bread with intense, piercing light blue eyes, a well-groomed, kind of deep gray goatee that transcends down the entire length of it, almost like a happy trail that disappears beneath the toga that stands there.
Oh, that's that horniness. There it is.
Right there.
You see my face just, whoa!
It's like a divot in your cheek.
Getting punched. See, everyone can tell I cast Detect Thoughts in my face.
Beneath the laurels, you see his toga is fitted with intricate shoulder pauldrons and a ceremonial breastplate. Steps into the crowd, and you can see many folks begin to move to gather. This is definitely a figure of import, or at least of interest for folks to talk to, as the nobility begins to kind of queue for the opportunity to shake hands with Senator Fakasha. As Senator Enzo Cabano steps in from behind, you see a crusty old mass of dried linguine that sits in a tangled, rotund pile, tied together by a bulging toga that barely contains his form, as he kind of rests in and waves a hand a bit, and kind of just falls in line right behind Fakasha. And there, taking his arm, you see a voluptuous middle-aged woman with twisting pasta hair that descends into a thick ponytail, her pale, tawny skin decorated in bands and jewelry, as she kind of pats the elder statesman's arm and leads him further into the crowd. You, having just entered a short time ago, hearing some of these names, can't help but immediately freeze in place.
Of course, I think I see my grandfather, Enzo, and I think look to Colin. Will you do your best to keep the chiefess entertained? Chiefess, I must say hello to my grandfather. I will be right back.
Of course, I understand that is how these things go. And she kind of looks over with a begrudging side eye, and then immediately takes a fistful of the charcuterie in front of her and just kind of.
Oh, What am I thinking? We should an introduction. An introduction is right. Please, wait, come with me. Sorry. And I grab her and you can eat on the way.
I will.
We'll sit here. Or do you want me to go? Okay.
Just stay beside. What?
She slaps the back of your shoulder, the meat kind of pressing against it as well, and goes, if I suffer, you suffer.
And I'd like to try and cut a path through toward Enzo and Angela.
Okay, as you pass, we can hear of the Senator Fakasha, like holding court in the Senator's troop. Well, you see, it has been a long time we were supposed to come and talk to you all. It has been a wondrous year as the fantastic people of Syriza have risen to the occasion. We have passed a swath of fantastic laws within our fair city and our country. And our countrymen and ladies, they are themselves enjoying the prosperity of a great future around us. As this is happening, you can see kind of sitting behind Senator Enzo's like half passing off before Ariana kind of pats him again. Looks over and is the first to see you approach, and a big smile creeps across his face.
Oh, it's a grandson. How are you? It's so good to see you. It's been so long.
Grandfather, I kneel down and take all of his linguine, his dry linguine into my hand.
Kind of cracks a little.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm very used to it. I did not put on enough of the nice soft solution on this skin this morning.
Well, the air in Fructera it's much more humid here, so I'm sure you'll take in some of the moisture.
Of course, that's why my family retired this far south.
Senator, I'm sure you remember Chiefess Katsun.
Of course I do. It is very good to see you again. You are a very healthy looking.
And Chief just kind of reaches a hand out and kind of pats the top of his hand. I will take that as a compliment. You look conscious. It is nice to see you, Senator. And there's like a palpable kind of tension in the air. Not so much from the senator, but definitely kind of there's a vacant division in this area. Before Senator Ariana kind of steps in a bit and goes, and do not worry. My father, he is very tired after a long journey. Perhaps he should go have a drink or two. I'll be with you in just a moment.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I think I had enough wine in the carriage, but I can always have more. It is a celebration.
And he kind of wanders off a second as Ariana turns around. A pleasure to see you, Chiefess. And what a pleasure to see you.
And you as well. You seem well.
As do you. Strong.
I've been... time in the Meatlands makes one quite powerful. There's not much to do but train and travel and train and travel and train again.
Of course. Chiefness, my apologies. If I might borrow your thane for a moment, we have important political business to discuss. And she's at this point already stopped paying attention, just kind of looking off the crowd. What? Oh yes, you can do what you like. I'm gonna go sit down.
Colin?
You want me to sit with him or? No?
Sit with the chiefess. Keep her entertained.
Okay. Want to go back to the charcuterie board?
Yes, I do. Let's go.
Clear a path.
Everyone scoot.
As you kind of push off to the side, she actually just grabs the charcuterie board and takes it off the table and walks over towards the side of one of the garden wall elements that hits the exterior of the party space and just kind of holding it in one arm, begins just kind of shoveling it in.
I think for Colin, this is like, you know, the first time he's ever been at anything this fancy in his life. He's just like, okay, this is, I guess that's a way to do it. Really absorbing.
I'm sorry, I should be sharing. You want some?
Okay. And just also starts eating charcuterie. Like, I'm not gonna win anybody over probably, so I'm just gonna at least fill my stomach.
Just your energy, I like it.
Wow. Okay.
It is good to know I am not not the only one who despises every single thing about this event.
Yeah, I don't know that this is exactly wheelhouse for me to be here, but I'm happy to be of service if you have anything else you need.
This was D'Alessandro's idea, and well, what perhaps some of us lack in social acumen, he'll be a great leader one day, when I'm no longer around.
She cheers her meat to yours.
That's good. That's way good.
If I can too, I remember there's that white pumpkin carriage for the Bulbian church. Seeing you with Tomate, I think I'm going to say, I should go and pay my respects to the Bulbian.
No, yes, of course. Don't leave me with him.
You don't like? What's wrong with Count Tomate? He shouldn't- What's that? No, he's good.
Yes, of course, Your Eminence. Please, go.
Yes, Your Majesty. I shall be back in the twinkling of an eye. You see, the chiefess of the Meatlands grabbed an entire charcuterie board, so I think it's open season. I think you can get any snacks you like.
And I'm going to scoot over to the Bulbian entourage.
As you head over to the Bulbian entourage, it's interesting. You notice the iconography in the robes, but they're all kind of lower end, various church hands and individuals that appear to have arrived in advance. And they're looking a bit anxious and looking about, kind of glancing for any other Bulbian clergy that should or is supposedly arriving. And upon making eye contact with you, immediately some of them brighten up. And as they're about to open their mouth, another voice calls from across the way.
Introducing Archbishop Camille Cauliflower and Bishop Elizabeth Brassica.
From across the arched bridgeway, you see this elderly-looking woman with these kind of clumps of cauliflower hair that kind of spiral a bit on the sides of the head, and a face that the lips are smiling high up and the rest of the skin sags down into almost a frown beneath, past where the robes gather, and this high collar of the archbishop was behind. It kind of like this waddle that kind of wags as she walks.
I don't like that.
A massive staff that itself is adorned with spiraling vines and itself its own cornucopia of color of the various vegetables of Vegetania on display. And at the top, you see the Bulbian symbol itself almost glowing as it reflects off the light of the bulb in the sky. And you see, attending to the immediate right, in simpler garb, these longish golden white robes, kind of a wide-shouldered top piece that kind of widens into a train that drags behind. You see a younger woman with deep green skin, this kind of dark, verdant hair that is pulled up into a bishop's mitre that climbs up into the Bulbian symbol as Bishop Brassica follows behind with a smile. The archbishop kind of looks out amongst the crowd and
It is my pleasure to attend such fine servants of the bulb on this great day.
And Brassica steps forward. And with that, we want to extend our gracious thanks for all of you, your wondrous heart, your piety, your faith, and your love in the great bulb above for Saint Agamir. And her eyes come across to you. And of course, the loving memory of the late king. It is joyous to be here. Please, continue. As she takes the arm of the archbishop and they step into the crowd. As the central chaos of the social gathering continues to grow more and more tense and filtered and colorful, we swing back to the many alleys and streets here in Kamida. Karna, as you've gone around placing rumors and information, what specifically now are you planting amongst the populace? What thoughts are you attempting to stir within those who are outside of the high gates of the cornucopia?
I think what I want the people who are here to consume gossip to know is little tip from the bishop himself that the Vegetanians don't like any of the options for succession, and that there's some stirrings, but it's coming from the Vegetanians.
Okay. Roll a persuasion or deception check, your choice, to connotate how effective this is.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Thanks for that.
Now, growing up here, especially growing up in the kind of rough and tumble streets of Kamira, you very much know the hotbeds for gossip. You know where the common folk gather to do the work of the more wealthy individuals and then spend their time talking shit about the wealthy individuals they work for. And with just the tiniest of seeds, especially with the energy that's already brewing around the death of the king and the arrival of such a unique array of long storied and rumored individuals in their own right, you have no issue but to drop a thread here, drop a thread there, in passing. A few moments of recognition of old friends or faces that you've worn before, re-engaging in a passing by, oh, did you hear? And one by one, within even just a handful of hours, you have aggressively begun to spread those murmurs where they need to be seated. Is there any other business that you wish to attend?
I want to see if in any of my transactions, if I'm hearing anything about big moves that might be going down during the festival, primarily from either, like mostly around the Bulbian Church, like if they're trying to push themselves into this like strange little power vacuum that's happening.
Interesting. I will say, roll either a persuasion or investigation in your check, depending on how you go about ascertaining these answers.
Natural 1.
Oh.
Most everyone you speak to is like,
To be perfectly honest, I'm not really a fan of this Bulbian church anyway. They've been pushing against the borders for some time, and I don't know, I'm not really much of a pious type. I know they they go around talking about how great the bulb in the sky is, and I guess it's kind of warm and stuff, but I don't know, my mom was in this she would burn incense and stuff at night,
and you just kind of lose interest and wander away. It seems that religion isn't on the mind of a lot of folk here. The Bulbian influence, while it has been pressing against the borders of Vegetania, it still is largely contained within the southern countryland. And various pagan beliefs still kind of hold on to the final dregs of this era, as well as people that just kind of sit in a space where they appreciate the bulb, and that's as far as it goes.
Good.
So as far as you know, no big moves by the church, but there is definitely interest in the various noble houses, both Fructarian and Vegetanian, coming together. And there's rumors of various individuals that are coming up with curious ways to try and outlaw the claim of the throne.
Ooh. Any fun names that I can have on my tongue as I try to make my way back to the cornucopia?
Sure. I will say the two names that seem to really kind of gather the most conversation is Count Belvedere Cabbage of House Cabbage, who was one of the storied higher nobles of the various noble houses that exist in this vacuum in Vegetania. Was attending to and very involved in much of the king's business, right below the central court and throne, and is well regarded. Though older, but a storied soldier and benevolent friend to the crown for quite some time, who is in attendance. And then others, more of the Fructarian countrymen, those who aren't a big fan of the Vegetanian influence and love the daydream, the idea of maybe perchance seeing somebody of their heritage upon the throne, much like how they celebrated the marriage of the Queen Amango all those many years before. Speak of the aspirations of a Count Jacques Tomate, who has been on quite the political missionary journey throughout Kamira and the surrounding countrysides of Fructera, speaking about how the union of Vegetanian and Fructarian culture can lead to a prosperous dual nation were someone to bring them together under a similar banner.
Karna tries to be very impartial in her sort of spy and information trading and dealings. But even though she's a little spicy Carolina Reaper, she is technically a fruit, so she's very excited at the prospect of Count Tamate, and will do her best in her dealings earlier on in the night to sort of like throw some more support and insinuate that his claim is stronger and more supported by other individuals that she's talked to.
Wonderful. As you head back, we come back to the center of this social gathering while you, Lady Amango, have at the edge of your arm, indeed, this Count Tamate.
So please tell me, the journey was everything you hoped it would be.
Oh,
Yes?
well, it was a little bit. Dare I just speak in Terran with you?
Of course. What's the problem there? Yeah, no, just talk to me as we talk to each other. Don't make it weird.
I'm telling you, these vegetarians do not know how to handle the rain. We are very good with it. You know, we are luscious. We are used to the humidity. They cannot drive. It's like there are fireballs falling from the sky.
You're telling me. Trust me, our entire family house has been going around doing business with many vegetarian nincompoops for quite some time. I don't know. Your late husband was a great man.
He was.
And I think it was behind his wisdom and his guidance alongside you that he was able to bring us all together in a place of mutual benefit.
Yes.
Across the landscape. The Six Kingdoms, it has been a very dense period this past 5, 10 or so years. The Soretians are falling apart. Their entire government is at odds with itself. The Senate is completely incapable of protecting or even controlling their populace. The worth of the Soretian dollar is crashing terribly, and the Senate can't even pass a law without infighting. And he points over to the Senator Fakasha across the way. There's something about this one's confidence that makes me uneasy. So, do you know if you will still be able to maintain some form of power in Vegetania?
In truth, I am not sure. I feel that there are forces in the court. Some of the ladies, at most, forces in the court that are trying to send me away, shall we say.
Well, if you were to be sent away, would you like to stay in your old home here in Fructera?
But of course, if I couldn't be with my husband, I would want to be here with my family.
This is good to know. Well, perhaps some interesting change indeed might be in the future. But nevertheless, let me introduce you here. Pamela! He claps his hands together, and you watch as Queen Pamela Rocks of House Rocks turns around with a bright smile. Oh, goodness, how wonderful to meet you. I'm sorry, where are my manners? Lady, Queen Amango. I've not been too greenhold since before you had been married in, and it is quite past my time to take your hand and tell you, one, I'm so very sorry at your loss.
Thank you. It's very kind. One of the few people here who's actually called me by my real title, so thank you for that show of respect.
Of course. My daughter, if I might introduce you. As she turns around, you see Citrina is currently arms crossed and just kind of looking over in the direction of the Archbishop with kind of a longing gaze and kind of fiddling with her fingers before turning to you and placing what looks to be a small tome deep within her robes again.
Hello, I'm Citrina. You are the queen.
Well, really, it is a pleasure. And she kind of clasps your hand in both of hers. May the great bulb above look upon your journey ahead, and all of us, in a pious gaze of the light, find a better future for all of us.
I thank you, child. That is so kind of you. You know, I take great solace in the teachings of the bulb through my friend the bishop. I see you do too.
Right, I am familiar with the bishop you speak of, Ravana.
Yes.
I have not met him myself, but I've heard word of his
great life spent in the justice and the light of the cathedrals in Greenhold. I would love to meet him.
Oh, well, I would be happy to introduce you. Truly, in the absence of my own father, he's been the closest thing to a father I've had in Vegetania.
Wonderful. At this point, Timotei kind of butts in and goes, and of course, Pamela, Queen Pamela. Sorry, I do not wish to speak on such a disrespectful way. I just like to keep it friendly, you know, between mutual noble-born.
I like this guy a lot.
I was moments away from leaning over and going, this guy fucking sucks. This guy fucking
Did you see that fucking hat?
Those in the middle.
I mean,
Come on,
I
dude.
wasn't too sure with the mustache and the thing, but now he's kind of growing
Look,
on
those
me.
fucking gloves, man.
Kind of growing on me.
But I'm curious, as you are leaders within the Six Kingdoms, who do you support in the claim to the throne? Is there anybody who you have eyes on who might step up to become the new sovereign leader of Vegetania?
Why would it not be me?
Well, I mean, I am not discounting you. Why do you think I brought you over to introduce you?
I believe that I have the most knowledge of the ruling of the kingdom since my proximity to my late husband, with the guidance and the wisdom of the bishop, and the support of the ladies and gentlemen of the court. I'm sure I would make a fine queen, with or without my husband.
Very well.
I'm going to swoop in at this time and say,
I made a little plate for myself over at the buffet. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Count Tomate, yes?
That is indeed my name. And you are Bishop Refanuel Shalok, right?
Yes, I'm the Bishop of Greenhold. A pleasure and an honor. Wonderful to meet you. And I must say, the rumors are true, though you are a Fructarian lord. Something about you does strike me as Vegetanian. You seem like a kindred spirit, my lord, able to stride both kingdoms.
You're not the only one who says this. I have been across both sides of this border for most of my life. Friends on all ends. You know, I have a mind and a heart for unity, of course.
Cosmopolitan and a coloritarian.
And I have been said in the past to have quite a pious day or two during the week to the great bulb, as they say. So, you know, I would very much hope that the Bulbian Church would also be appreciative of fructarian nobles who would also be friendly to the plight of the Pontifex and his followers. Huh?
Oh, well, of course, you know, the great bulb shines equally on us all. Though the people of Vegetania have seen fit to devote themselves most piously to soaking in that light, the truth is the bulb shines as equally on the fruit of the orchard as it does the leaves of the garden, and it is a pleasure to know that your piety matches your charm, my good Count.
Oh, well. Yeah, I would turn redder if I wasn't already.
I know that story. Radish. Well,
Your Eminence, I would love to introduce you to a delightful young lady. Is it Princess Citrina?
Yes.
This-
Citrina Rock.
yes. Oh,
This is the Bishop Refanuel Shalok.
I understand that you are a very promising young member of the clergy, Your Highness, or I should say, my reverend sister in the clergy. Welcome.
Thank you for your kind words, Bishop. As you know, the Bulbian faith is not quite as well rooted in Candia, but I am one who carries that torch with me, so the light shine upon all within the great Candid Mountains and beyond.
Little old hand will go take her hand, and I say, there is no light more welcome than that which first pierces the darkness. And I am so grateful to hear that you pursue this path. And though I have not had the fortune of being to Candia myself, I know that we are very lucky to have you there.
This gathering between all of us here, it's like a uniting of all of the countries.
As you're saying this, as you're kind of clasping Citrina's hand, Pamela's hand comes in and pulls Citrina's hand from yours and just kind of goes. And it is a pleasure to meet you as well, Bishop.
Your Majesty.
Amathar's mom. I'm going to say,
Your Majesty, a pleasure. We are so very fortunate to have your daughter's ministrations within the clergy. And I understand that your station there as a Bulbian yourself. It's a pleasure to know. And if there is ever any support, a humble bishop as myself, I've been ministering to the needs of Greenhold for some time now. But know that the bulb above shines brightly on your blessed family.
I greatly appreciate your interest and concern in our family's faith, but know that the bulb does indeed shine equally, but we choose to take the light of our own reading and pious worship. Citrina and myself and many others have taken quite lovingly to the Book of Leaves. We just are careful with which sects of the church wish to impose disparate law and rule upon how we worship.
what's my detect thoughts saying right now?
Initially, you get this kind of flash of emotion. She's an empathic entity. And you've read this before. There are certain people that are closed off, they're open. She is a guarded, empathic force. And you just get this cold stillness, this deep mistrust for you that you don't understand.
The garden of the 6 kingdoms bears many plants that grow in their own ways. It is, of course, impossible that all of us should be pointing in the same direction. But the bulb is fixed in the sky, and though I may be pointing north and you south, we point to the same truth. And it is, I think, a vital and beautiful thing that Mother Church should be able to embrace us all, and that disparate readings or sectarian squabbles. I myself am I minister to the plants of my garden. I am not a theologian, these are sort of bookish types, but these sectarian doctrinal differences, I don't make much head or tail of them. I think the important thing is that where we disagree on readings of the scripture of the Book of Leaves, we come together under the embrace of Mother Church and are able to settle these things within the confines of this special sacrament we all share.
That was a lot of very beautiful words. And may we enjoy walking under his light continually in our disparate directions. It's been an absolute pleasure. I need a drink. And Queen Pamela Rocks kind of steps off and brings her daughter with her to the side. So Trina's like, Mother, I don't, and kind of,
I turned to Tomate and I said, do you think we've offended them?
To be perfectly honest, Candians can be a bit touchy, you know, especially when the weather's so damp. Makes them stickier.
Yes, water can be quite corrosive to sugar, it's true. Your Majesty, can I, might I borrow you for a moment? I've dropped one of my emblems in the artichoke dip.
Oh, no, I need, excuse me. Yes, of course, let me help you.
friend! And Tomate kind of wanders off and embraces
This
him.
guy fucking rocks. He has so many friends for a reason, okay?
I'm going to take your hand and say, oh, it's all right. Don't pay any attention to the Candians. Your Majesty, you are the crown of Vegetania. I would be very careful about proclaiming that so boldly. I am not given much to dwelling on dark thoughts, but I will simply bring up the fact that you undeniably are the monarch of Vegetania. However, given the state of your late husband, you cannot produce an heir to the throne.
And when you loudly proclaim that you are the sole monarch, you are inviting a path to conflict, because someone must come next, and it cannot be your child. So you must be involved in the decision of where the power will flow from you. And if you choose to not let that power flow, then you will become a dam. And as a dam, you will be a very inviting target to those that would like to see that river run free.
Your Eminence, may I speak freely?
By all means.
I loved my late husband dearly, and I would not have wished a single part of his soul or body to be harmed, but now that he's gone, I feel that there is only one way that I can maintain my position as queen. And that would be to forge some form of alliance with whoever's next.
Well, your holy vows were for a very set period of time, Your Majesty. Until death do you part. That clause having been satisfied, I think finding who you would like to select that is amenable to the various powers that now hold their interest within Vegetania, there is a possibility for you to maintain your station and add extra legitimacy to the crisis of legitimacy that Vegetania now finds itself in.
Then we are of the same mind.
As always, Your Majesty, I am your servant.
She takes his hand again.
As you walk together, kind of clasping hands, we come by the outside of the party where you both had kind of quietly had a moment. By the exterior hedge there on the bench, we see Colin Provolone still there, flanking the side of the chiefess.
Come on, Provolone.
Come on, Provolone!
So, tell me, Colin. Who are you? My son meets you, hires you, know nothing about you. Do you have a blade to put in his back?
I have a blade, not for his back specifically.
Look me in the eye. And she leans in. Do you mean to harm my son?
I do not. I haven't been very lucky for a long time, and this is the closest thing I've felt to being above water or milk.
You must come from the bottom of the proverbial barrel to consider this lucky, but I think I see your meaning.
I think Colin looks around and sees all the rich, snooty, powerful people, and he's like, I feel like I don't really like that. But it's nice to be inside and be eating well, and I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of power in this room.
She kind of looks out at the crowd, shovels in another piece of like crinkled shaven meat into her maw, kind of wipes the edge of her lip.
People like this are good for one thing. Taking what's theirs when they don't deserve it.
Yeah, I think so too.
For those of us like you who may not have been so lucky, you are also the most capable at getting away with it. That is why I keep my eye on you. But that is also why I think opportunity will continue to find you as well.
Cheers is another piece of salami. Is there anything I can do for you?
My son has an open heart. As hard as I have tried to drain it out of him, it is both his greatest weakness and his boldest strength. I don't trust any of these people.
And she looks over across the way, and you can see Thane Deli over there kind of standing, smiling and laughing alongside the kind of matronly Senator Ariana. And she looks back towards you.
They will all use him, or worse. And I cannot always be there to protect him.
I will not always be here to protect him. I'll pay you whatever it takes for as long as you want. Just watch his back.
I think we have a deal.
She puts her arm out and kind of clasps your forearm. As she holds on tightly and pulls you in to where you're just an inch from her face. And if you betray him, I will rend your cheesy body from side to side and strip it across the very Lackmore itself.
It's a visual.
Then we understand in accord. And she reaches into a pocket and pulls out a handful of coin, doesn't even count it, and just drops it into your lap.
Whoa! Colin just throws it into his like jacket pocket. Stands up a little taller. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep an eye on D'Alessandro from here.
All right. Over to you as you sit there laughing.
I say, more sauce.
You've never done that. You are just, you're worldly and traveled. I barely go outside of the city these days. It is so much work to be done. It is so good to see you.
I miss my time in Pengranos. The Meatlands is my home, and I belong at the chiefess's side, but the time I spent with my grandfather and you, it shaped me and helped me become the man that I'm continuing to become. And
and what a man you are coming into be in the time you've been there. You've grown quite a bit.
I have. It is, the life we lived in Pengranos was soft. And in the Meatlands, life is hard. We are constantly unawares for danger. You never know where it'll strike.
We see Rafael in the background getting blasted by horny energy. Go ass over tea kettle.
Bishop, are you okay?
I'm dying.
This is such a different lifestyle from what us well-learned Parisians are used to. I would maybe one day like to come and visit you, show me around.
The steeps of the Meatlands are beautiful. We have rugged canvas tents. It's quite special to watch the bulb rise over the red landscape.
I'm sure it is.
I'd love to show it to you one day.
She kind of.
More wine. More wine.
For me, thank you very much. Just fill it up. And she kind of leans in a bit and kind of turns away from the rest of the crowd and kind of leans into your shoulder to kind of guide you, so you both have this little pocket of privacy for a moment. I'm curious. In the time that you've been there, it seems dangerous for me to journey. What is it safe? What would be the political state between the clans right now?
My mother, with my guidance, has made great strides to the tumult and violence that led me to leave there in the first place, that ended the life of my mother. My other mother has been quelled somewhat. Much of the Beef Clan, this was a hard winter, this last winter, and there were discussions made about sharing food and creating community. We are making great strides. It is hard to say if the Meatlands would ever be truly unified, but common cause, the ability to walk freely without fear of raiders, these are the things we are striding for, and we are doing well.
And you are one of the minds unifying these thoughts, yes?
One might say the architect. I mean, it's, of course, my mother who is the voice of the Beef Clan.
But she is but a mouthpiece and a piece of meat.
You are the mind behind this. You carry with you Saritian wisdom.
My time in the halls of the Senate has done me well.
Well, maybe if you continue these talks and bring the clans together underneath you, maybe it could be useful. Make an insight check for me.
I just want to point out that she just called your mama a piece of meat.
Well,
She is.
She is, but she said it in a not good way.
She is a piece of
She said it in a not good way.
That's a insight.
Yeah.
19.
19. As she's saying this, she kind of glances over your shoulder for a split second, and it kind of like, you catch it a little bit. You can't help but kind of glance over, and across the way you see Vakasha kind of still holding court within a few other groups. As she looks back to you and goes, well, when it's a safe and welcoming for a Sarisian senator of my esteem and experience to come visit, maybe you can show me one of these Bulbian rises across the Midlands, and she leans in real close to your ear. Maybe, finally, perhaps, slam it down a big sty.
Good night, everybody.
Nailed it. No way. No way.
No way, dude.
Ow, it hurts.
I'm sorry, I have to be off. There's conversations to have, and her hand kind of caresses past your cheek.
Oh my God, I think Telly finished.
Deli's gonna cross his legs, one or the other.
Yes.
Just gonna sit. Oh,
We'll talk later.
oh yes, we will.
She gussies up herself a bit and wanders off into the crowd, gives you one last look over her shoulder as she exits into the rest of the troop.
Yeah, dog.
The conversations continue, the banter unfolds, the longing glances, the curious alliances progress. As the afternoon grows later, you weasel your way amongst the crowd and begin to listen and watch from a distance, taking what information you can from afar, what's safe and comfortable within your purview. And as the day turns into night, the festivities come to a close, and folks begin to scatter amongst their respective business and interests to their various chambers, where they've been assigned here within the cornucopia halls, until later, where the memorial dinner for King Cardoon is to be held. As you each begin to head down into the later evening to your various shown rooms, you, Colin, strangely, stepping into your modest chambers with what little you've brought with you, there is a package, like a wrapped package with a single bit of twine on the edge of your bed.
Colin draws his sword. What the fuck? What is that? From a distance, cut it open.
Unfolds, and there's like something folded. Looks like a cloth or a garment of some kind is folded, and there is a scroll that is rolled up and set there with what looks to be like a wax seal, just barely visible as it's facing downward over the top.
Colin reaches for it and turns it over to see if he recognizes the seal.
You see in the seal, it's a carving of two hands pressed like this, and between them what looks like a quill. You don't recognize it.
He breaks it, opens it up, and warily reads it.
It reads, "You are destined for great things. We wish to guide you to them. By your hand, we can change the world." After the bulb's set light leaves the western horizon, we implore we meet at the pyramid's base. Follow the blue flame. It would be wise to attend. We know. As you look past the letter, the folded material, you cautiously begin to unfold it. And it's not a garment. It's a partially burned banner flag bearing a dotted mountain atop an island. This you do recognize as the banner of Fontina. Not since the failed coup of Lucas Fontina many decades ago has this banner been seen. A dark spot on the history of the Isles, and a deep shadow that lingers at the edge of your hard-buried origins. Karna.
Wait, don't! Okay.
Begin to step outside of this event. Take a calming breath amongst the chaos of the day, and in your mind, racing around, you begin to consider and think of what the next plan of action is, how you can utilize the things you've learned, and you hear someone stumble. You glance over and see a shattered figure kind of stop over a rock and drop something on the ground and keep running.
I wait for them to pass and immediately dive for whatever they've dropped.
It's a small package.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it and open it.
You find a letter of the exact same words that Colin had read on his. It would be wise to attend us. We know. And within the package, a wrinkled 4-inch carrot wrapped in a band of corn silk silver. Not a carrot on its own, for you now make out the knuckles that bend ever so slightly across this withered finger. The ring adorning it, displaying a simple, stylized kernel. The brand of Jacques Crudité. The finger of Jacques Crudité.
Oh,
Delisandra.
Oh my God!
guys, it's just me changing pants, all right? That's the scene. It's not, I didn't also get a package.
And as you are changing your pants, kind of stumbling through the
I
chamber,
only bought 3.
you hear a at the outside of your door.
Is there any sort of hole to look out into the...
There is a little
Yeah,
opening.
I'd peek through that to see if...
There's nobody there, but there appears to be a package at the base of your door.
Don't open it.
I open the door and can I make a perception check down
Yes,
the
you
hallway
may.
to see?
Oh, we should have done that.
That's going to be just 11.
11, looking back and forth down the hall here in the cornucopia, no sign of anybody.
I quickly bring it in and close the door.
Okay.
Open.
Open it up. There lies the sealed scroll. Upon reading it, you are destined for great things. We wish to guide you to them. By your hand, we can change the world. The same notation to you. And behind it in the package, a small box that contains a strange garment. A soft, verdant dress, a negligee of smooth wheat weave trimmed in lace. And as you unfold it, a strong perfume fills the air, like a sweet caramel and oats. Perfume you smelled not but earlier this afternoon. It is accompanied to every letter that Ariana has sent you. It suffuses the pasta twists that fall from her head to her lower back, her teasing notes and promises of grand partnership. Should you be a good, ambitious boy in your mind, we know.
Deli goes and takes this pair of pants off and gets his third. Out of pants already.
Mongo, you take a period of time within your large, well-dressed, well-decorated, queenly suite and sit in silence and sadness. The tension of the day's conversations and the uncertainty of what is to come before you, the words of the Bishop Nathaniel ringing in your ears. You then notice at the foot of your bed resting a package with this same seal, this same note, and within it, a folded letter stained with wine. Too thick to be wine. You open this blood-stained letter, and it reads, "Then, the minister presses and your debts quake beneath the crumbling ground of the Pinoir house. My associates and I cannot stress enough the importance of your diligence in alleviating the deep-set ledgers we carry in your name. As the harvest swells, your window of time diminishes. A series of notations follow, numbers, values owed.
It's just been there since before I was here.
Yeah, you only just now noticed it.
I open up my mind to see if I hear anything, hear anyone nearby.
No one. All you do hear is in your mind those words you just read. We know. It would be wise to attend us. Bishop Raphaniel, as you step towards your modest but Bulbian-adorned, interior, comfortable bedroom and take off your boots and stretch out the creak in your back and your shoulders and rest your accoutrement to the side. You see there on the windowsill a package with the same sealed letter within, with the same notations, the same request to come post-bulbset to the base of the pyramid and follow the blue light. And it would be wise to attend, we know. And behind that, a pouch of simple cloth. Within it, a gathered batch of herbs, familiar herbs to you. Violet cloves, an extremely rare bud cultivated along the southern coasts of Egitania, crushed and dried into a tea. Known to aid in digestion in small amounts, but in larger ones, can cause other biological challenges. We know.
Curious. I'm going to burn the sachet of tea in a small brazier used for offerings. I'm going to turn invisible and leave the room.
The rest of you, do you intend to head towards this gathering site?
I immediately put on Jacru's ring and don't care about how long I have. I'm gonna get there early and scope things out. I also turn invisible.
Okay.
Colin, he's like doing his version of that. He like stuffs it like under the bed. That would be good.
Come on, provolone.
Come on, Barbara.
Come on, provolone.
This fucking sucks. And I guess Colin's just gonna keep his sword. He has his cheese rind dagger in the back of his belt, and he's like, "What? All right." I think he's not used to. This was never something he thought anyone would know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gonna see who knows.
Okay. Amango?
I will take the letters, because there's two of them, and I will stuff them in my cleavage inside, way down inside, right low.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's getting there. And not without my knowledge. And I call for chutney. They say, chutney, I need your help.
Yes, what is wrong, mate?
No, nothing's wrong. I need you to do me a service. I so want to visit my mother and father, and I'm afraid if I do during all of this ceremony, people will see, it will be a big thing, and I just want to go into the cover of night and see them. Would you cover for me and just let people know that I'm just not feeling well, so no one comes to bother me in my quarters?
Of course, my queen. I will cover for you. You go and sneak out, do what you need to do. I will tell everyone else that you are taking a nap and preparing yourself for the memorial dinner.
Thank you so much. I know my parents will want to say hi to you too, so I'll bring back a letter from them, all right?
Please.
Yes.
Be safe.
I will, I think. And I go.
D'Alessandro.
I think I'm also, deeply troubled and kind of sit there just holding the negligee for a second before stuffing it deep into my the things I packed and have brought with me, grabbing my spear and my shield, hoisting the shield on my back, and walking out of my room, spear first.
You, each in your own time, begin to exit the cornucopia, servants kind of nod and let you leave. Most folks are either off pre-gaming before the evening's dinner, meeting other allies, making connections before the event. But for the most part, based on, well, maybe aside from you keeping your head down best you can, traveling through the city streets, trying best to not garner too much attention, especially those of a more prestigious public persona, until eventually you wind towards the base of the Great Pyramid of Food. The work has stopped for the night as the bulb has set and the stars in the sky above, broken apart by the wispy clouds that now travel slowly in the wake of the past storm. You see amongst the darkened stone and currently closed passageways no movement, other than the slowly arriving other members of this group of 5. Or group of 3, I should say, since 2 of you are invisible.
Like, are you invisible all the way there?
Invisible all the way there.
Did you send me something?
Colin?
Colin's gonna draw a sword.
I bring my spear up.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Queen!
Queen?
Did you send me a letter?
No.
Did you send me a letter?
Did you send him a letter?
Did you send him?
I sent no one a letter. Queen of Mango, I bow. I'm not sure you would remember me. I'm D'Alessandro. You visited the Senate long ago, just after your marriage. It's good to see you again, and I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. You're.
I just said it. It's D'Alessandro.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Of course, you just said it. Yeah, I told you I was terrible with them.
Yes.
It's so lovely to see you again.
Yes. Anyway, the letter. No, I did not send any sort of letter to either of you. It came in wrapped with the. It said greatness. We will guide you. Follow the blue flame.
Oh, no. Mine was simply a missive, a very promiscuous missive. It wasn't anything like that. Not of course.
It's about this time that the dark base of the pyramid begins to show a blue glimmer as you glance off into the shadow on the eastern side of the construction site. A lantern hangs at the hand of a cloaked figure and just waves back and forth, a blue flame within.
You're not fucking with me, right?
I'm not fucking with you, Colin. But I would say, weapons up.
Draws this long sword.
I'll walk behind the 2 of them, but I'm going to reach under my bodice and pull out a dagger.
All right.
I want to try to sneak up and get eyes on whoever the lantern holder is.
Okay, roll stealth check with advantage.
Pretty good.
Double 19s, let's go.
Okay.
28.
Okay. Quietly, you approach this cloaked figure. You see them stepping out from one of the archways that has completed construction, with a staircase that descends beneath the pyramid from its side. The figure you see is wearing a cloak that has kind of a deep brown and gray patchwork texture to it. Like elements almost having a yellowish tan coloration as well, like a calico. On the face, you see a reflective mask, possibly made of some sort of an odd vegetable iron that has been rusted to the point where there's kind of a deep brownish red coloration to it. And they just hold this lantern out, looking over in the direction of the other 3.
I want to reach out telepathically.
Who are you? The voice doesn't respond, and it just turns with the lantern and begins to descend the stairs below, while the 3 of you watch the light vanish into the pyramid.
Are we going to go in there? Also, why would they have chosen the 3 of us? You're a queen. Colin, you're...
There's no reason. Not at all.
Perhaps this is a matter of diplomacy, and since we've met before, obviously, in the Senate,
Yes.
Perhaps they wanted to bring us in to bring peace between our two nations. Yes?
Perhaps.
You, I don't know.
Yes, you're kind of. I would
That's a
kind of see
story
it this
that
way.
could make
You're
sense.
you're the one that's really messing me up.
I'm gonna come out of invisibility way behind them, like go behind something that obscures me from sight, and I'm going to hustle up a little bit, like out of breath, and go.
Your Majesty, are you all right? I spoke. I couldn't find you in your chambers.
Oh, for goodness sake, did you not speak with Chutney?
I'm so sorry. Chutney must have been occupied. I came directly to your chambers and bypassed it. But is everything all right?
Everything's fine. I just...
One of the acolytes in a nearby chapel came and spoke and said that you had been spotted coming here without a retinue or any guards.
I simply wanted to visit my parents. I just wanted to be out for a moment.
Sorry. Hello, Bishop Nathaniel.
Thane, Delisandro.
Delisandro's a pleasure.
I'm overhearing this. Can I make an insight check?
Yes, I also. Inside check.
I will allow it. And you may
I
make
just trust him implicitly.
You can make a
so
persuasion
why
or
not?
deception check of your choice based on the intent of your statement.
Did you get a nat 20?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, silvery barbs.
You don't see me.
Shit!
No.
That sucks. Okay. How can I cheat? Hold on. Let me find a way to cheat.
I got a 4.
All right.
I got a 16.
16? Okay, okay.
All right.
actually,
You know what?
you know what?
You know what? This is just a straight roll. This is just all this is.
Also, it is a little sketch that Chutney didn't say stop you from coming in my quarters. So I'm going to do an insight
Fair.
check too.
Well, everyone's grilling me, so I'm going to subtle spell enhance ability on charisma checks.
Natural 20.
That's
You got 2 nat 20s?
okay.
The power of the
Well,
ladies.
Okay.
That's how fruits roll, baby.
Okay.
I think I'm like, why did this poor old man ran here?
Short of breath.
Do you need water? Or?
All right. Come on. Now, so this 2 nat 20s, I'm so good at lying. I built this character to lie.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll 2 d20s, and I need one of them to be a 20. Please. Hold on.
Silvery bombs.
If it's a nat 20, don't we get plus our
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Even critical skills, it still comes down to the numbers. So, total of
30.
insight total.
24.
You're casting Silvery Barb.
But I'm not even looking at the second die, so that the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out.
I believe Silvery Barb says you could force them to re-roll a d20. It doesn't say advantage or disadvantage. Oh, no. Yeah, it's one of those fucking
Okay, let's
spells.
look up all our spells.
How's my 16 doing?
But you do still have advantage on it, so you get to re-roll them both.
If this is also a nat 20, then I did use the lower roll.
Fair.
Right?
Don't you do it.
It's not.
No.
So now I'm going to
Re-roll one.
I re-roll the 20.
Yeah.
Correct. But I re-roll it with advantage.
Horrifying. Please roll so low.
Come on, baby. Come on, Provolone.
Top 7.
17.
17.
Oh.
So it's still
Which is
20.
still-
It's still 27, but does it beat the nat? You're right. Like
Nat 20s for skills technically aren't an automatic success. It's the way with other attack rolls and spells, so you kind of still
Cool.
believe them. However, you also lose invisibility.
Yep.
well, you lose invisibility. Gotcha.
You're over by the pyramid, so you lose invisibility. Who here has a relatively decent passive perception of 15 or higher?
Damn you.
Both of you do notice especially since you're focused on where that flame went, you do notice this cloaked figure also just apparate.
Does she look like her?
Unless you took another form, I'd say it looks like Karna.
Take another form.
Yeah, so indeed.
As soon as I see her, I telepathically reach out and say, "What the hell is going on?"
No idea.
Do you need water? Are you all right?
Help him up. Stand back.
Yes, of course. Here, rest on my shield.
He's so little. He's so little and he's so weak.
lovely, strong young man.
Your
So,
Eminence,
yes?
I'm fine. You can go back to the castle now. There's nothing to worry about.
But why? This is such a strange turn of events. Why don't no one else knows that you're here? You don't have any retinue or guards here.
Did we all just see Karna drop out of invisibility?
The two of you did.
Only the two of us did. I'm going to, for the first time that you've seen me do this in our long relationship, I'm gonna speak telepathically to you.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna go, if you tip your hand magically in front of people that we can't trust, there'll be nothing I can do to help you.
I think Karna, is just genuinely chastened and kind of shrinks back against the wall, and you see a nearly imperceptible nod. And then she's just gonna turn and follow the lamp.
I'm just such a tired little old guy. Listen.
So smart.
Well, Your Majesty, all things being equal, I think it would be best if I accompanied you until such time as you have some retinue around. I trust.
Hey, this guy's gone now. Come on.
Your Eminence, I think you should stay behind. These two lovely gentlemen will keep me company and keep me safe.
No, he should go. Come on, come on.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, let's go.
Hooray!
All right.
And I'm gonna lead because I'm like, fuck it, let's go.
You shouldn't walk on your own.
Oh, he's so handsome and he's
very
so
strong.
Deli.
Oh, wow, Jelly,
Scraping his
that's
head
a
on the top
little
of
bit, that's a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little flustering.
Well, what can I say?
As you all slowly gather to the base of the great pyramid of food, you begin to descend the archway to pursue the path where this blue lantern flame led. You can't help but glance up and see amongst the starlight the outer framing of the multitudes of calorum fruits, vegetables, grains. All the various societies and peoples have been displayed and represented here. And then the rootstone takes over as you descend the steps below. Clack, 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 clack. The shadowed basement greets you. High curved arches and pillars textured with stone-carved blueberries. And here, in this dark expanse, nothing but a series of sconces with small flames burning within them. Not on every single pillar, but just a row of them, leading you to the center of the subterranean floor. You see the distant blue fire flicker of the lantern swinging still. And you watch it descend. As you follow through the firelight, you approach what looks to be some sort of an interesting pit, like a hollow. It's about 20 or so feet across that is just two spiral stairs that descend further and further to a base floor. And there beneath you see the cloaked figure swinging the lantern. But here amidst this kind of odd mausoleum sense of the subterranean basement of the pyramid.
From Deli's arms, I'm gonna look at the queen and say,
Your Majesty, this is where your parents live?
They live nearby.
Oh, this is sort of a strange meeting place.
Hey, what the fuck are we doing? Right? Like, what is this?
I don't know. I was summoned here.
Well,
We're allowed to express incredulity.
I'm along for the ride.
We continue.
Okay. Do you follow behind?
I do.
In a single file line, you begin to slowly descend the curved staircase down into this hollow. And as you all touch into the hard floor beneath, the figure turns around and begins to ascend the curved stairs on the opposite side and back to the top.
Oh, hell no, I'm going up.
As soon as you stare up, other figures step to the edge of the pit. 5, 10, 15, all similarly robed in the dark browns, those dull tans and golds and grays and blacks, these calico cloaks and robes, these strange, shiny masks on their faces. And they complete a ring around the top as the lantern figure sets it aside.
Apologies, Bishop. Drop spear, shield.
It's all right. It's all right. The bulb will not let any harm come to us.
Oh, for goodness sake, Bishop.
We welcome you, treasured guests. Your wisdom in arrival confirms our faith in you.
Another voice across the way.
We live in a world of radical indulgence, rampant narcissism, arrogance, and ignorance. It is within this void of virtue and insight that the shadow of destruction looms over all of the 6 kingdoms and has grown darker with each passing year. Would you not agree?
In broad terms, I see how one could arrive at such a position, certainly.
Another voice across the ring from beneath the mask, partially muffled again.
Our forefathers unified under the common cause of guiding us all from the precipice of destruction, to seize the course of history and shape it for the good of all.
Another one across the way, even further from there.
We have been the background caretakers to the future of Calorum. We are the fellowship of destiny's architects.
Another voice.
We pull the strings from the shadows behind the thrones. We design the necessary conflicts that serve our cause and engineer their doing. As architects, we seek no prestige. We wish no gilded parades, coin or glory. We only seek to steer us away from the messy, dangerous impulses of the ignorant masses. Away from the imbecilic leadership that passes ever onward through thinning bloodlines. Away from the true terrors and threats that most do who do not choose to see, and towards a bright, sustainable future.
There's a pause. And a gentle voice comes through one of the other robed figures.
You have been chosen now, just as many others before you, for a particular task, an opportunity to help in making this way forward. When the time is right, we will call for you once more. Answer and succeed, and you will be rewarded with influence, truth, vengeance. We can grant them all.
How?
Another voice.
Decline or fail, and your darkest secrets will be made plain to the world. You will wash away with the riffraff that pulls us all down to the muck to be forgotten.
Why are you threatening us?
It is not a threat.
No, that was a threat.
It's an assurance.
And who are you? You hide behind these cloaks. Who are you really?
There's no response.
I suppose it a fool's errand, but I think in this moment I would be making either a perception or insight to see if I recognized even a single one of these voices.
Make a perception check. And I'll say with disadvantage because of the low light of the interior here.
For sure.
If I look over and see the bishop kind of trying to suss things out, I'm gonna sneaky throw you a bardic inspiration. And you just feel your stomach rumble a little bit with hunger.
In that moment where I can feel your support, I'm going to throw just a little sort of mischievous smile your way and telepathically say,
Cloaks and voices. But they do seem to have secrets, don't they?
I like secrets.
If you let a fox pick you up in its jaws, sometimes it'll take you back to its hole.
The bishop's really cool.
perception with disadvantage.
Yeah.
That is only going to be an 11.
Unfortunately, due to the low light of this interior and the heavy amount of unique clothing they use to obscure themselves, you do not pick up anything beyond just variations in height. And with a little bit of the voices, you could tell, you can sense voices are being put on to the best of their ability. So no one catches your attention.
I don't know if you'd be able to tell, but like, does it seem like multiple food groups here?
Make a perception check yourself.
Definitely the different like nations, right?
Yeah. No, the different accents are clear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perception check is a 14.
14. Okay, that's
Can I make an insight check on the people in the pit with me? Do they seem scared? Or I guess I'm just trying to read
the troop
everyone
here.
else here
Yeah, read the room.
who fell in with me.
Sure. Are any of you hiding your current emotional state?
I'm trying to.
I'm not.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Insight
Deception.
is a 19.
18.
Deception 20. I rolled a 3, but I can't get lower than a 20.
All right. The bishop seems oddly unfazed, but the majority of the troop in here, through various stages of careful guarding, but unable to keep at bay, the shakiness in their voices and the wideness of their eyes belying their current back foot situation.
One last attempt. I'm going to spin my ring around and hold it in my fist and say, "Let me see." And I'm going to see if I can use my vision to pierce through any of the cloaks and see who's actually being hidden behind them.
Okay, what does this ring do?
Ring of X-ray. While wearing this ring, you can use an action to speak the command word. When you do so, you can see into and through solid matter for 1 minute. This vision has a radius of 30 feet.
Whoa!
To you, solid objects within that radius appear transparent and don't prevent light from passing through them. The vision can penetrate 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, or up to 3 feet of wood or dirt. Thicker substances block the vision, as does a thin sheet of lead.
It's interesting. It's designed to look through thicker materials. Okay. Roll a perception check for me, because even though you can see through it, it's still low lit. So it's still a disadvantage, but the DC is not as high. And if you succeed, you might get some details.
Disadvantage, 11 plus... Perception? 15.
15. Okay. Not terribly bad. You make out one figure, just a little bit. They appear to be almost like a bottle, like a glass container, tall, some sort of an amber liquid within. But that's as much as you can tell from this distance. But even with that perception, and then you said you were looking around the different. What'd you roll again?
My original is 14.
14. You also notice this. There, beyond the different heights, there are definitely, based on the accents, based on the body types, there are members from pretty much all the 6 kingdoms represented here.
I think for that insight check, I think my confidence is reading as the pious, like it's reading as I said the bulb would not let any harm come to us, and that's the kind of confidence. I'm going to look at everyone here in the pit and look up at these strangers surrounding us and say,
Though you will not show us who you are or share your names with us, you have said nothing of your cause to which I can disagree. You have told us that you will make a request, and in the time of that request, should it be within the bulb's light, to see it do justice, then I will acquiesce. And if not, then I will smile through whatever consequence awaits.
The shorter robed figure steps forward and
You say within the bulb's life, we all walk in it. This is the greater destiny the bulb has for us. And for well over a century, we have engineered and maintained all that is good in these lands from the shadows. We are not kings. We are not leaders. We are the ones who guide them. We are the ones who forge the future. And we invite you to help us do so. If you decline, we will find another, and your secrets will wash you away.
I don't mind this deal, Colin. I kind of like it.
You like it?
Yeah. They're asking us, these guys, they're kingmakers. And they've chosen us.
I don't think they want us to be the king.
Just going to telepathically reach out to Karna. If there is anything you know about who these people are, tell me now. Because what they have sent me, you're the only one who knows.
Have I heard anything, even like rumors, about a group like this?
roll a history check. This is a very, very high DC.
11.
No fucking clue. Can I make it just like a general insight check about this group? I know it's like I'm trying to decide if, or I'd be curious what you think of like, knowing that they said we all have secrets, regardless of how people are presenting themselves. It seems like people are lying, right? Like,
Sure.
is there oh, that's a 4. 11.
11. I mean, everyone's pretty focused elsewhere. You can take the word for what it is from what the robed figures said, but no one's given too much at the moment.
I don't know who you are, but maybe don't talk about like wanting to be a king with people who are like, we don't like leaders, you know?
I don't want to be a king. I'm just saying they are people of influence. And I don't know who the hell you are either.
And I don't know who the hell you are.
Great, we're two people who don't know who the fuck each other are.
For goodness sake.
What's your deal?
And if we say yes, do we go home?
All of their arms open, kind of not quite in unison, but like kind of following each other's thread. The voice say,
Of course you do. You have lives to attend. And whenever we need you, we'll call. There are many big things coming. Many plans we have spent years, and other alliances like yours to ensure its passing.
another voice says,
Consider it. You'll know we mean the truth in short enough time. That should be proof enough. We speak our truth. And when we ask of you to return, then you can make your choice.
and they all step away from the ring.
Okay.
A voice echoes as they've vanished from my sight.
Now go. Enjoy your dinner before it's too late. Make your handshake deals and pleasantries. Before the night is out, our plot shall begin to unfold.
Your Majesty,
Your
I offer my
Eminence.
hand.
Yes.
Start going up the steps. Your Majesty, they mentioned secrets. Do you know what they could be referring to?
Well, of course I have secrets. I'm the queen. I know all sorts of things that the king only knew.
So they sent you some messenger who said, hey, we've got dirt on...
No, they sent me nothing. I was looking for my parents.
Your Majesty, I can only protect you if I know where you are.
All right. I'll be more careful next time.
And I can only protect you if I know who you are.
I am the Queen Amango Epicé Dupage. I am both.
Lovely work in this pyramid.
Isn't it? I love the work of Fructera.
I'm just gonna rock up to Deli and stare him down.
Can I help you?
What's your secret?
What's yours?
And I'm gonna just take the ring off. I replaced a really powerful spy master several years ago. So when I say I don't know who the fuck you are, you should probably take that as, you know, you're not worth knowing yet.
Well, I didn't even know there was a spy master. And I said, Colin, let's roll.
You're gonna have to think about that one.
Yeah.
No, I'm not!
Colin, I'm into this.
I think certain things might sound more interesting than they are, and the reality of it is a little scary to me.
I mean, but like they said, they're not threats, they're assurances. They just want us to double down on what they see in us.
What possible favor do you think they will ask us?
I don't know. I mean, probably nothing crazier than what you offer to do for me every 15 seconds.
I think that I offer that in a very specific time and place of my choosing, and I don't like having the choice.
Is this your secret?
I'm sorry?
What? You're talking, I can hear you.
Yeah, I know, but what do you mean?
There's 2 stairs.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That
Which
was
part?
the thing you were hinting at. It was very like in the thing I offer. I'm sorry.
No, I meant like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you got the package as well?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, which had your secret in it. I'm not gonna just tell you my secret.
Why not?
We're not there yet.
I mean, if they didn't want us working together, they would have talked to us separately. So maybe there's some value in getting to like a base trust. You know what I mean?
Are we so far ahead that we can't hear them, or can hear them?
I'm slow as hell.
Okay,
so
great. We can hear everything.
If we get to the outside of the pyramid, I'm going to turn to face like the rest of the group here and go, well, on some level, this was always to be expected, Your Majesty. You are a target, and we know that the nature of this Feast of St. Agamir relates to your late husband, the king. Clearly, these interlopers see some benefit to the young thane of the Meatlands as well, and this warrior of your retinue. Whoever was in that room had enough power to draw the Queen of Vegetania to the bottom of a pyramid in the dark of night. But they didn't have enough power to not need you, to not need all of you.
And you, right?
Me? No, I think I was.
Come
I'm gonna
on,
send
dude.
telepathically. Okay, come on now. They didn't seem surprised you were there.
They had one guy just watching it, huh?
They just let you stumble in.
Hey, listen up, all you motherfuckers. Listen up and listen good. I ran up here because an acolyte saw the queen come here. And just because that's what happened doesn't mean that you all have to feel
sorry,
some
do you
type of way about
Do you
it.
need help walking?
Yes.
I don't know.
Can I-
And I definitely this
Can
is
I-
the first time that I have shot back at him was down there. It's the first time that I've ever shot back at you because I did not trust that was what happened.
Can I sleight of hand just check his pockets when I pick him up?
Yes, you may.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a perception check. If you don't mind.
Bardic inspiration.
Thank you. D6?
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Don't even have pockets.
Oh, are you looking for a letter that says where I was earlier tonight?
Yes, I was.
This is a bunch of receipts from a donut shop elsewhere in Commodore.
Vinegar. Vinegar cream puff.
I love a little cream puff blueberries. Look, so the four of you are important, and I'm some guy.
Don't bite.
I can't believe this is working on my brain, but
It hurts, right?
I feel myself being convinced even though I'm not convinced.
Against your better judgment, the old man makes a point.
The dice are trying to tell a story, okay? That was a straight up other nat 20.
Yeah,
That's fucking
this is
crazy.
wild.
That is crazy.
Again, whoever was in that pyramid was dangerous enough to draw all of you here. But not so dangerous that there's not something they need from you. There's opportunity here. Dangerous, mysterious, but opportunity nonetheless. Owie!
Sorry. I like what you're saying.
Yes. I don't know who they are, but I don't think they're wrong about you. Well, memorial feast, and everyone here has been engaged in some form of espionage. So let's get on the hot foot toot sweet.
Before we leave, I slide up to Karn. Base trust. What do you want to know?
Why did you come here?
They know about a romance that I'm involved with that I shouldn't be.
Okay. Base trust.
Base trust.
I'm very used to being disposable. And that had all the seeming of people who are interesting enough that no one will miss. So, I'll look out for you. But I told you my secret. The people that are coming for me, let them come.
All right. It's pretty tough.
And I want to pull out like a little notebook of just information that I've gathered, like when I wasn't at the earlier afternoon events. And I think just as a baseline trust, I'm getting you caught up with like what the nobles are saying.
Who are any of these people? These. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna need that notebook back, but you can go. We can walk and talk.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
As you all step out from underneath the Great Pyramid of Food and back into the night streets of Kamada, you take this time in partial conversation and partial silence, contemplating the ramifications of such an established group supposedly knowing what they know and what they may have in store for you, whenever that may be. You gather your thoughts and attend the memorial dinner. Somber at first. Then as the drinks flow, it becomes a little more pleasant. Fond memories of King Cardoon begin to be shared. And then in the midst of this revelry and sense of understanding amongst the attendees, a round, red, ruddy-cheeked tomato stands forth and clinks a glass. As those in attendance look around and says, "All of you who have come in the memory of the great king, it has been said and spoken that without an heir, the bloodline comes to an end. But that does not mean that we are without options. For the House of Tomote legally holds the next in line birthright to the throne of Vegetania. And I myself and the noble houses of Fructera are behind me to be the king to unite the two kingdoms as your king, Jacques Tamote." At this point, certain cheers and claps begin to come from the various Fructera nobles in the chamber. Others kind of clap confusedly, and all the Vegetanian guests just stand there still. Eventually, as the glasses aren't rising quite as much as Tomate was expecting, he looks towards the Vegetanians who begin to stand up. And there you see Lord Belvedere, Cabbage, clear his throat. We deny his preposterous claim. This is not recognized by Vegetanian nobility. And indeed, the successor will be chosen for Vegetania by Vegetanians. Tomate retorts, was this law not established by the bulb's light itself? I thought you as pious people, souls from underneath the great bulb, would understand that the bulb's will not be denied. Belvedere turns with the rest of the nobles and looks towards the Archbishop, Camille Cauliflower, with Bishop Brassica at her side, arm on her shoulder.
Bulbian law is but an interpretation of the great bulb's will, flawed by the minds of mortals who write it down. We have conferred with the pontifex and have ruled that your claim, Tomate, to the Vegetanian throne is inconclusive by divine script. In such matters, it has been agreed to leave such decisions to the remaining sovereign noble houses of the Kingdom of Vegetania. House Cabbage.
The debate roars on for 5 minutes. The rest of the nobility in the room holding back, finishing their drinks, and others preparing for some sort of a show of violence, until the Vegetarian nobles stand up and leave. As they go, the partially drunken Tomate screams out after them, "You can do what you will. The throne is rightfully mine, and I will take it by word or by sword." In the wake of this ominous Egemir festival, as you begin to scatter in the following morning, Egemir concluded to your various homes and lands. Tomate rallies the people of Fructera behind his cause and begins seizing bordering Vegetanian lands as the months grow on. Marching Fructeran armies make their way to the gates of Greenhold to claim his throne by force. You must flee and find safe spaces beyond the home that you had once held. And you, returning to Fructera in the embrace of your family and your parents. In the midst of this struggle, to the north, the Ceresian Senate engages military support to aid in their alliance with the Vegetanian lords, a move that widely upsets the Ceresian people and pushes back the Fructeran armies. In the 2 years that follow this Egemir, Senator Focaccia claims dominance of Ceresia as the new imperator, withdrawing from the southern conflict and instead mounting the Ceresian armies to assault the meatlands at their border. This galvanizes the Dairy Islands to take up arms in support of their Meatlander allies, which in turn triggers a full-scale assault from Ceresia retaliation, and they invade the Dairy Islands. Candia's refusal to take the banner of war in defense of the islands further fractures the ruling House Rocks of Candia, establishing the Candian traitor house of Jawbreaker. By the year 1190, all of Calorum is embroiled in the beginnings of a full-scale, continent-wide war, one to be known in time as the Ravening War. And we'll pick up there next episode.
It happened in front of our face! Yeah! There you are. You're safe?
Do you need more resources awaiting you in Commodore?
No, you've been incredibly generous. Bishop, thank you.
Colin! Fellowship, we need to get to Commodore immediately.
The entire continent of Calorum is holding its breath for the next wave of bloodshed.
You are still, though you may not be referred to by these rebel lords and ladies, the monarch of Vegetania.
The Ceretians see us as the shit of the great beasts and will use our bodies and our children as fertilizer to grow their wheat fields. And if we do not stand together, if we do not unite, we will be overrun.
This will not be an occasion for weakness.
No, I've learned from our mistakes.
Did you send a missive to Tomate directly?
Yeah, I did.
Then you know where he is.
You didn't get a missive back.
I didn't get a missive back.
When all of this fighting is done, will they remember you as a hero?
I would prefer not to be remembered.
I'm sorry. We are all eventual. Waste.
Y'all freaks.